We are back. Hello and welcome to the Collective Minds podcast. Gonna let Jade take it here, but how are you guys? How have you guys been? It's been a minute, so
Busy, just life in general.
yeah. Things speeding up now that we're getting close to the holidays for you guys. Any plans? Anything like that?
Well, I planned on flying. We'll see if that follows through. We'll be touching on that throughout the podcast. But yeah, I was going to fly to Vegas.
Same here. I
Ooh,
was I was planning to fly to Hawaii, but you know, prices spiked, and a family of four would fly to Hawaii from Texas for like $6,200. 6,200. Come on,
that's
for
crazy. Do
four
they give
for four
foot
seats?
rubs the whole time?
No, it's not even first class. It's just economy.
Shoving you in a crate underneath the plane. This is what you paid for.
Throw some grain at them.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah.
They just have to have like the flight attendants in the corner just like being snarky and whispering to each other, staring at you.
That one's looking at me.
Yeah. That's
Jay's on the
crazy, dude.
bars.
Or at least you're smart. You know what's worth it and what's not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people seem to have trouble with that today. As I am seeing housing finally break down into the 200,000s now. Haven't seen that in 5 years.
Well, not only that, like the car market, it's crashing, or the bubble popped and it's going down.
Good. Not the Tacomas, though. They're still trying to sell those 30 years pieces of crap for $20,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, let's see. So Jay, about no Christmas this year, right? Possibility for that.
So the whole no Christmas idea, there's a conspiracy floating around, with the idea that Christmas is not going to be happening this year. Um, Before the conspiracies came out, I forgot who it was hinting at, who hinted it first, whether it would be um, the remote viewers or the webbot report that Cliff High did earlier this year or late last year. I forgot which one, but before the conspiracies came up with this, it was that's my source, like from where I got it from. But now that people are talking about it in social media, it's starting to make sense how it's possible that we might not have any Christmas this year. And it stems from the whole government shutdown. Um, okay, so like you got the article up there. Um, the United States Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, has been on the media talking about reduction of flights because there's no um, uh, what are they called, air traffic controllers, right?
Yeah,
So sure, let's reduce flights, and that happened this past Friday. It didn't happen all at once, but the DOT or FAA instructed carriers to start reducing flights, like
right.
canceling flights, moving them to other flights to reshuffle people around and start reducing planes in the sky. And by this Friday, we'll be at the full 10% reduction. And this is not 10% reduction of all airplanes in the sky. It's 10% reduction of carriers. So Alaska Airlines, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, like there's certain there's the big name brand carriers that were told to reduce capacity or flights, and it's not limited to passenger. Air cargo like FedEx and UPS, they're also affected by this. So less planes transporting goods.
Everyone that relies on a controller.
Yeah.
Um, can I connect a dot for just a second? It
Go
clicked
ahead.
when you started talking about this. The Democrats are like begging for this, and it's almost like Trump is giving them what they wanted, right? So with the push of the shots and everything, planes and you know, helicopters and planes have been going down left and right, and that's kind of what happened with the shortage. And they also have a shortage of pilots.
Yep.
So it seems that that's what they wanted to begin with, and now that they're getting it, and it's going to be blamed on them because of the shutdown.
You're
Like
right.
you can't just create these guys; they have to be, it's a lot of education goes into this,
Oh
keeping
yeah, yeah.
birds in the skies.
So you're hitting one of a point that I was gonna make, which was um, it might be a ploy to remove unqualified DEI hires. This includes air traffic controllers, people that work in the airport, and pilots, because they did hire pilots based off of racial stuff, inclusion, all that stuff. That's one point that I was going to bring up, which is valid. Like, would you want unqualified people running the show? I'd rather have the guy that's been there for 15 years guiding the planes into the runway and have the guy who's been flying 10 years um, flying for whatever carrier to fly the plane. Like that's experience. They have gone through the ringer before the whole DEI stuff, and they have a track record to do the work. Unfortunately, some of them took the shot. Whoever refused it, got fired, and they're not working there anymore. And then they had to replace them with these unqualified people. Not all of them are unqualified, just to make that clear. But if they were fast tracked into the positions they are in now, there's no guarantee that they can do the job correctly, right? So, so
Absolutely.
that's one point. Um, Another point I was going to bring up was less traffic controllers to, run the show at the airports. Um, Not being paid is also another thing. A lot of people, regardless of DEI hires, they need to make a living, right? They gotta pay bills. They gotta support their families. They might be close to retirement, to retiring, and since the government shut down, they can't retire because that money comes from where? Social Security.
Right.
If they
Yeah.
haven't done the whole 401k,
Yeah, it's
and
definitely pushing the new hires out
yeah.
when they're looking at their future.
And the last point I was gonna bring up is this is an intentional flight reduction to control people moving in and out of places.
I wonder if they're going to amp up the security, like if they're trying to, whether it's illegals or human trafficking, if something's going on with that.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna ramp it up because who's the agents that's gonna be doing that? TSA? They're not getting paid. The
Uh,
military's on like on a loan.
right.
There might not be a paycheck for them this month
Hmm.
or next month. But yeah,
And they
all
typically get back pay once it um,
well, hopefully,
gets approved. Yeah, yeah,
hopefully,
hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, it could be ICE, it could be anyone. Maybe it's the same security they have now, it's just with less planes and flights going through,
yeah.
less people, so it's easier for them to actually
And
go through everything.
and so Sean Duffy announced, I think yesterday, that, or even Friday, I think it was late Friday, that it's possible that they'll increase the flight reductions to 20% in the future if the shutdown continues. Now, if the shutdown continues, that means we're getting closer to Thanksgiving, right?
Right. Yeah.
And with the reduction of flights, people who last minute book is SOL because they're going to be paying these ridiculous amounts of money for seats
Is
to
that why
fly to
yours
family.
was so expensive, do you think?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
It
Because
makes
before
sense.
before the whole flight reduction, it was hovering around $4,000.
Hmm.
So a grand each for my family, like
Yeah.
for 4 seats, family of four,
Jeez. We
and that's
booked.
normal. That's normal for me from Texas going to Hawaii.
Okay.
That's normal.
Is that like
Uh,
three flights put together? Is it two?
no, it's a direct round trip flight
What?
Oh wow. Okay.
from Texas all the way to Hawaii. That's not normal. But
We
once you get closer to Christmas or these major holidays, they increase about $200 to $400 just
So
because
you
of
said
the
round trip, so like 500 each
round
way.
trip.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's like hotels, I guess, but I mean if it's excessively a lot more, that's making sense. It just blows my mind how it took so long for the eggs to correct, and Trump, I guess, just made a deal with beef in Argentina. But I mean, beef's still expensive. But as soon as something happens with the flights, boom, prices are up.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll screw
So
you when they can.
mm,
so with these flight reductions, that means fewer flights, right? Fewer airline options, because one airline might be fully booked and charging X amount versus another air carrier that's a little less booked with like but charging a little bit more kind of thing.
Hmm.
And then of course higher ticket prices because less planes means less flying. The more money the carrier has to you know make back somehow. So in my opinion, people will be less hesitant or more hesitant to fly because ticket prices are through the roof right now. They'll probably opt to stay home. Um, Also, goods traveling around the country via air cargo, that's going to go up too. Like, um, I don't know if Amazon's going to remove that whole free shipping thing now. I can see it continue to work because the warehouses, but if they have to fly some stuff from one part of the country to the other just to fulfill a shopping order, they're going to add that price into it, right? They're going to factor
Oh
in
yeah,
that cost.
Amazon will take a hit,
Yeah.
and
or
I
they
noticed
won't take a hit, and people will be pissed.
I noticed a few items that I was looking at which are non-essential entertainment, items, but shipping was set for like December if I ordered now, and I'm thinking, what in God's name? Geez. So I tried to look for other options, and there was no other options. It was that listing on Amazon. I know that happens occasionally,
Yeah.
but you think there's a little more variety, and yeah, it could be linked. Depending on where you have Amazon warehouses and distribution centers. We have them out here on the island now, but yeah, they have to restock eventually, and it could bump the prices. And
Yeah.
I work at the I do jobs at the air traffic control, and like you said, they're all without pay. I've asked them, the air traffic controllers, what do you guys do? They said, there's nothing you can do. Like, we just have to find side work or stick it out. I said, they don't offer any kind of incentive program. He's like, oh, well, I think he said Amazon offered a credit card or someone offered a credit card to them with lowered interest rates until whatever opens back up, the government opens back up. I thought, geez,
Yep.
Louise. And I'm contracted through these airports. And so I said, should I be concerned about my work being cut? And they said, oh, no, no. The contractors, they have already factored those payments into the budget. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why would they not factor in their employees' pay into the budget? They said, good luck. We've had meetings about that for years.
Because of the shutdown, because of the possibility of the shutdown.
That's crazy. But they will budget in, I guess, essential work, which I guess I'm considered during COVID. I was considered essential as maintaining the infrastructure, but yeah, I
Right.
just was shocked by that.
Yeah. This is a little different.
And it sucks for them, but and and it's all government workers, so it is bad. But I think the majority of them make quite a bit of money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So it's not like someone making minimum wage taking away their paycheck and go and keep working.
yeah.
I think a lot of these guys are set, so it sucks, but you know,
If as long as they're responsible, they should have budgeted accordingly. I mean, this isn't the first government shutdown, but one
No,
thing I think is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
it's becoming the
interesting.
longest.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it. I love it.
I'm on the, I want to be excited about it too, but when I see it affecting people I know, it's a tricky kind of feeling to
Well, we should shut it down,
process.
but we should pay everyone besides the politicians.
Yeah, and the best part is they're still collecting paychecks. Like what? But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting to watch people's mental process about the government shutdown with the food stamps. I was talking to people and they're like, there's no way it's going to open. I'm not even going to stress about it. They always do this. It's going to get figured out. And then November 1st hit. Oh, food stamps are gone, or whatever it was, first or third. But then it's like watching the grieving process, people going through it. And then now we're at flight cancellations and delays. And, more stuff is going to be affected. It's going to be
yeah,
interesting to see how people process this.
yeah.
It's stirring up the pot.
Yeah.
So we have this painted picture of what's happening now. So you add that to the whole government shutdown, people not receiving their EBT, SNAP benefits, um, their free money to spend money. Um, wi- and and we're coming up to Thanksgiving, right? Like these people that have been benefiting from EBT and SNAP, like just getting free money, won't be able to buy food. That they've actually started stealing food, right?
Yeah, their morals are already corrupted, and
Yeah.
um, I thought I proved a really good point the other day because I did make a short video about this, and it's that, well, I went into it. Illegal aliens, the majority of them, like percentage wise, way more are on welfare than U.S. citizens of all across the board. So if you take that away, and a lot of these people are driving nice cars, have really good jobs, they're just able to get it because of their immigration status. But you take that away, that might help a lot of them want to self deport really quick, especially like
Yeah.
walls closed it in on them. And then Trump wants the National Guard in these major blue cities, right? So you piss off all these corrupt people with bad morals who did the Black Lives Matter rioting, all that stuff. They're going to be back out there again, Antifa. And he's already, Antifa's already considered a domestic terrorist organization. So you get them out there looting, rioting, and everything, and all of a sudden, like Walmart's will be a protected American, and the military is going to be there. That's why they're
Yeah.
he's handing it to them exactly what they're begging for, and it's a trap. So I wonder how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And
So
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Adapt 2030, the channel on YouTube, he has made a pretty good point. He says, this is a roundup of good and bad people. And like you were saying, it's kind of like laying the trap out. And you're going to see people going in and looting, and they're going to say, stay out of my way. This is a corporation. Let them, you know, they can just collect insurance on this, but it's taking the resources away. And yeah, sure, the corporation can rebound through insurance to a point, but that doesn't mean that the food is going to restock. And so it's taking food and resources out of hardworking Americans as well. And so he said it's going to stir people up to want to be vigilante and stop them at the door. He said, don't do it, because what
Mm-hmm.
they're going to take that opportunity. The overseers who are scheming this plan to round up everybody, the good and the bad. So just don't get involved. And he said, but one thing, that your stand your ground laws in your state, because another thing you got to look out for is people watching you load your groceries into your car. They might not go in and loot the grocery store. They might just follow you down the street, stop you and blockade you in and then rob you. So, or do it in the parking lot. But just be careful, because you might think you're doing the most good by stopping people from looting, and then you get rounded up too.
Yeah. So what is the likeliness of people visiting other family this Thanksgiving with all of this happening? Not that not that high, right? So and I'm getting to the whole Christmas thing. This is just the trying to lay down some groundwork. Um, and have you guys heard of the whole thing about not buying anything on Black Friday?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so if that goes through, like all these companies are going to be like SOL on profits that they should have gotten, and it is a big fu to these big companies that's trying to get rid of its stock.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to make that point. That Black Friday is to get rid of stock before, what is it, fiscal year ends or whatever, taxes
Yeah,
or
Hmm.
yeah.
yeah.
So now going from Thanksgiving and going into December, if the shutdown is still occurring, we've gone what 2 months without having a functional government. 2 months of people being SOL on their free money, free food. Um, you got people that's going to be desperate for something, right? They're not getting their free food. They're not getting the groceries might close intentionally just to preserve the brick and mortar building because they don't want windows smashed in because people want to get in and take the food.
Tell me it's not being fast tracked because over the past
Oh yeah,
5 years, right? Ever since COVID, right? Everything is starting to get more expensive. Wages aren't changing. People are struggling more. The drugs are everywhere.
oh yeah,
People are, I mean, just not even a full paycheck away from being homeless. A lot of them. And people that were doing, well or would be aren't doing as well. So that's everyday life. I mean, you can see it. I think that's part of the reason why people aren't, saying excuse me and please and thank you and stuff is because they're actively angry about the situation that they're living in. And now you got this, right? Oh, well, we're going to take the last little bit that you have, the thing propping you up, you know?
yeah,
Um, I mean, it's a lot of people think it's funny. I think it's funny in a lot of situations, but there is a lot of people that do need help, and it's not just because they're fat and lazy, even though a majority of them are just fat and lazy, but it's because even with the help and with like a full-time job in this economy, it's still ass, a lot of it. And I
yeah.
think going, you're not going to be able to have that holiday that you do because that's what it is. I mean, the holidays are what gets everyone through it. Right after
Hmm.
the holidays is when the suicide rate goes up because it's like the best time of the year. You see family and everything, and then it drops off, and you're like, oh, it's a whole nother year till this happens again. Well, if that part doesn't even happen, the way people are expecting it to or think it should, I could see it, yeah, getting pretty crazy. People are at a snapping point.
Yeah, like
Add in the gloomy weather.
Yeah.
if you go into Thanksgiving and then you didn't have a good Thanksgiving because you couldn't afford food, you couldn't get the food, um, you didn't have your benefits to begin with, and then on top of that, people that are able to afford the food might see prices going up because people are stealing the food,
Hmm.
and then availability might not be there.
Yeah.
Might be a reduction of turkeys in the store. For all
Yeah.
we know, people could be just hijacking the shipment trucks in the middle of transporting.
Right. Or those people might, I mean, that'd be the thing is if, oh, I'm trying to see how to put this into words. So the places that these large companies get their items, specific items, they're already having a hard time. And if you take,
Distribution centers.
yeah, and if you steal the food from like Walmart or something, they're not only going to not want to restock, but maybe the people they're getting it from don't want to restock because there could be some sort of effect there where it's like we're having issues paying you back because we couldn't sell the items to get the money to, and it'll definitely
Yeah,
shift. It'll break down the supply chain even more. And
yeah,
taking this stuff away from people is like telling them they can't have a birthday anymore. I mean, I don't care, but a lot of these people, they really care.
yeah. All
I,
of this starts snowballing in December.
I got a flip side for everything we've just said. So yes, we could see less family gatherings and celebrating of the holidays, and but at the same time, we could see people coming together. We could see the good out of society because that's another thing I've
Oh,
heard people
I'm
talking
hoping
about
for that.
is that yeah, right, is that in the past we used to take care of each other. Now everybody is so focused on me. Like you have families breaking up because the government will take care of me if I'm a single parent, whereas before it was like grandma didn't go to the nursing home because we took care of grandma and grandpa when they got to their older age or whatever. So holidays could be the people who have coming, having Thanksgiving at their house, and people who have not joining them, but at the same time, another thing that you could see is these grocery stores, just like these communist states that like New York, who's promising to tax the rich are talking about moving out, and then taxes are just going to go up even higher on middle class. Is with the grocery stores, if people aren't buying products and they still are expecting certain profit margins, what's stopping them from just jacking the price up on people who can still afford to buy groceries?
Yep.
So there's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
Steak's
of
already like
ways.
$35.
Holy
And someone, I mean, a couple people got to be buying it. I won't. It's crazy, but and you see how much they of that they throw away, which blows my mind. How much of it
yeah,
they just toss out after the day and it's going straight into the garbage. That blows my mind. Oh, because you couldn't sell it for $35 for this little steak, so let's throw it in the
yeah,
garbage. Yeah, I hope people get a rude awakening. And I mean, with TikTok and everyone's, how they're built these days, they'll probably end up with PTSD if they didn't get the next, you know, toy or game or shoes or whatever is out. I don't even know. You know what I mean? I like car parts and tools.
yeah,
Those
another thing
won't run out though with these riders. They won't run out of that stuff.
I
yeah.
was concerned with the flights. I was worried about because we booked like, I don't know, 6 months ago, for our holiday plans, and for us to fly from Hawaii to the mainland is it was like $500. And we booked for my son to fly from the mainland to where we're going to visit, and it was $700. But we also added insurance, to his ticket as well. But yeah, when I heard you say that it was up near 1,000 per person, Jay, that just blew my mind. And one thing I was afraid of is what happens if these airports start shutting down and or limiting return flights, and all of a sudden I can't get back to the island.
That's all possible.
Yeah, hey, your ticket there is guaranteed, and then all of a sudden, whoops, we went to 20%. Sorry, but we'll give you a refund. Then you're stranded. I don't know. I would like to think they would not do that, but in these uncertain times, anything's possible.
So the likeliness of these air traffic controllers continuing to work into December, losing 3 paychecks just before Christmas, would you still show up? Because you got bills, you got mortgages to deal with, you got rent,
It really depends on, um,
you gotta buy food too.
yeah, it really depends on if I could afford it and if there was going to be back pay and probably how deep in I am. I mean, if you've been there for 15 years, and that's your career, I
Yeah,
don't, I don't think a couple weeks walking out of it. I mean,
I've
and
had
who knows? There might be if you're sitting there and you're watching people leave. I mean, that's almost a guaranteed raise if you stay. So
true. If they're gonna get that money back.
It's right. Yeah, if you can weather the storm.
Yeah,
I
right.
already have guys at the tower that I work at asking if I want to buy things that they have, like
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, like literally, I got this in my house. I know you're into this. Would you be interested? It would help me get through the time. And I'm like, I'm asking them, what do you do during these times? Oh, we pull side work, we sell things that we own, we go do Uber or Bite Squad or stuff like that. That's what you do. And I'm like, well, thank God. Imagine when Bite Squad and Uber wasn't even around. I told them maybe you should open up a booth at the swap meet, have a garage sale, because they have no guaranteed income. And I don't know if they're paid weekly, biweekly, monthly, how it works, but the longer this goes, the more you're going to see people start to, we'll see where their where their loyalty lays if they
yeah,
can withstand it.
yeah. So hopefully, I kind of painted a picture of the possibilities going into December. The three main questions I have is if the shutdown continues into the new year, can we see a breakdown of society because people are desperate at that point? Like 4 weeks without paycheck, and then food prices going up because of the looting.
Hmm.
There's, I'm pretty sure there's going to be starving people. People are going to go. If you're in the city, they're going to be going from door to door, trying to get food from their neighbors. At that point, they're that desperate. And then think about this being around Christmas time. Would you want your family like traveling during that time, especially when like people are out and about trying to jack you for whatever they can get from you to trade that for like food somewhere?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely not.
Well, and another
and
thing to consider is this is two different classes of people we're talking about of desperation. Government workers are not on food stamps,
yeah,
and food stamp people are not losing their jobs. Most of them are working low hours, minimum hours, or no hours. So this is two classes of people getting desperate.
yeah.
Hmm.
So if this does happen and there's a breakdown of societies of some degree, will Trump deploy National Guard or even normal troops to get the situation under control? Could we see martial law
God, I
on the
hope so.
extreme
Yeah,
end?
we absolutely could. I
And then
Yeah, anything to stop a supply chain breakdown.
and then if this is all happening, would you care about Christmas at that point? Would you care about getting going to the store buying Christmas lights or going to the store getting a Christmas tree?
I think I would. Christmas would be returning to its roots, which is about the spirit, and
Yeah,
same with Thanksgiving. It'd be about the gratitude instead of the materialism.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was more to it when they said the no Christmas, and I think there is, but um, yeah, the gifts aren't really the big part of that. I think you know, you're playing
yeah,
games with your family, the extra time you get to take away from work, um, yeah, bonding, all
yeah.
that good
So
stuff.
no
If
paychecks, no food. What about electricity bill during the freezing ass cold winter? Remember what happened
So
with Texas?
yeah,
right.
yeah, I remember that. I was here.
So I keep seeing stuff popping up all over. Is the government shutdown affecting you? I think they're doing that thing again, like they did during COVID, where they're not going to charge you if you sign up for things, and that could be credit cards. Um, I don't know, mortgages maybe, but electric bills if it's government. I mean, yeah, they're feeling it too. You know, your city government is definitely feeling it because the state's feeling it because the federal government's feeling it. So it's like who's going to come shut off your water if that guy's not getting paid, or shut off your electricity if that guy's not getting paid to come
And
do it.
imagine the places that are pissing off Trump, and he says we're cutting your federal funding.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah,
some real
Yeah.
pressure.
Yep. I hear that. So I kind
and
of want to shift to this next one. Did you guys hear about the missiles that were launched like last week? The
yeah,
testing. Trump said he said we need to start nuclear
yep,
testing like
yep. I
right
heard
now.
about that. Yeah,
And then
So
Russia did too.
yeah, and I think it has to do with Russia, which I watched a video the other day about a guy saying he doesn't believe that the nukes are real anyway, and it was crazy. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a lot of reasons to think that it didn't happen, and it did. But yeah, U.S. fires Minuteman III doomsday missile after Trump called for restarting nuclear weapons tests. So interesting. This was cool. So like a week or so before this, did you guys hear about this? There was some sort of unmanned aircraft that crashed on public land near Area 51.
I
Did you
did
guys
not
hear?
hear that.
I
You
didn't
didn't
hear
hear
about
about
that.
that? So it was a couple weeks ago, and I just thought it was funny. It clicked. I'm like, wait, someone down near Area 51, and then not long later, Trump's like, yeah, we need to start testing our weapons again. It's kind of funny. So security voice said over the channel, all foot patrols be advised there's a UAV unmanned aircraft with ordnance. Moments later came another call. We just had an asset go down. We had an asset go down with Within minutes, security units locked down the entire Tikaboo Valley, sealing off access to roads and deploying armed troops. So, whatever it was, they got in there quick and they started covering it up even quicker. And I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to tell you what happened. So, this guy heard it. He like does this tracking of around this area, and he tried to get in. They already had the road shut off, but it was on public land. So after they ended up cleaning up the area or whatever, they went over and there's this big flat spot like where they covered up the ground, and he's like, this is where it crashed. This is where it happened. But then a little further down the road, there was like debris of some sort. So he actually thinks that they placed like staged debris to cover up the fact that where it had actually crashed, and that they like paved over it really quick. So it was a cover up. Not sure if it was it was something they didn't want anyone to know about. So it was like they staged the actual crash and made them think that that's where they were just pulling people in or whatever. Let's see if I can find that part. But yeah, interesting. Why didn't we hear about this?
But you get a never ending supply of 3i Atlas news coming in, which is a
Yeah.
whole other. When is that supposed to pass by?
I heard
think
it's
it
coming
already
here.
did.
Oh, I heard it
love
turned.
Yeah, I heard it
it
was doing
turned
all
right
sorts
towards
of
us.
weird stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
I heard it turned, and it's not following the projected path that it was originally on.
I mean, you can see anything on it when you're looking at it. They said that it might have lost pieces of it, and that's why it changed its trajectory. What is the latest news? 7 hours ago. Right there. What's that? Anti-tail and tail jets from 3i Atlas. Remarkable
Yeah,
large-scale structure.
the last I heard, it turned blue, I think.
Yeah, it is weird how things are changing color. And you know what it is? It's probably in our atmosphere, and it's probably Elon's new satellites, or this one of these things that crashed out by Area 51. I still think it's super suspicious that none of the like NASA and the countries haven't really put out anything about it. Like they're holding on to that information. 2 anti-tail jets out to 10 arc minutes towards the sun, accommodated by a longer collimated jet. Yeah, this is a big nerdy article. What do you guys think about it? You think something's going to happen or no? It was supposed to be passing by or here in like October.
I still think it's aliens, but I don't think they're the aliens that's gonna make contact. They're just passing through, kind of thing.
There we go. December 18th. It's the
Right
closest
on
approach to Earth.
schedule. Yep.
Right
got-
to no
Just before
Christmas.
Christmas.
You know what would be funny is if it comes flying by and it's just Santa Claus.
Yeah. Santa's
reindeer.
coming and he's pissed.
I mean, they're like it's longer. It's changing colors.
Yep.
There's some bells, noises coming off of it. That's crazy, dude.
The pieces of it falling off are presents flying off. He's like, "Fuck it all!" Wow.
It's a giant
So-
space turd.
So you guys are saying we're gonna have robot Santa from Futurama?
Yeah, and Trump's like, Christmas is over, and no one's having a Christmas. Or like the government shut down, and this Robo Santa comes through, and he's like, "Yeah, right, bitch. Merry Christmas." Slams into Earth.
You filthy animal.
Yeah, for real. You know what it is? It's the alien shooting a missile from like light years away just to blow up Israel. That's what's going on here.
With 3i Atlas, I really didn't pay too much attention at first until it just became more mainstream, and now I'm at the point where I think it could be aliens. The way
That was
it
my
turns and moves, that's what gets me going. So what do you?
Yeah, it's moving. My point behind it was like, why are they not talking about this? I mean,
Yeah.
they were trying to be like, it's it's a guy or two that are saying it's something crazy, and everyone's like, nah, it's normal. But And it's got 1 out of like 500 chance of doing this, and then it did it, and I think it's weird. I don't know. They definitely don't want us looking at it yet, though, but it's starting to ramp up.
Yeah, it doesn't
Could
fit
be
the
like that
narrative yet.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird. So I was like, maybe we should be looking at the sky. I mean, if they're ignoring it, but
So have you
yeah.
guys seen the news about two moons?
I was just gonna bring that up.
Okay, please fill me in because I don't know what's going on with that.
2 moons and 2 suns.
No, so we officially have two moons somehow.
Oh,
Like I forgot. This was like a couple weeks ago. I forgot who announced it, but Neil deGrasse Tyson talked
oh
about it
gosh.
too. That we officially have two moons. Like, where did the other moon come from?
Oh,
It's
they're saying
just
it's going to be here in 2083.
it's gonna be here like a spaceship.
Yeah,
The Death
like
Star is coming.
because they're not done building it. That's what it is.
I just added it to the group, the thing that the post that I saw. Oh yeah, 2083. I didn't see that part.
2083 it'll be here. They got to finish building it. It's
Well,
Elon it's Elon Musk's Death Star to go to Mars. That's what it is. I'm calling it right
that's
now.
hilarious.
He's
Yep,
going to be
that
like, "Yeah, we're just going to ride it."
one of the top comments in the post I sent is the Star Wars clip where they're talking. They're all in the Millennium Falcon, and he's like, "That's not a moon. That's a space station." Looking at the Death Star.
Right. That is weird. That stuff is flying towards us. I mean, this one is going to be here December 18th, it says. And then this one in, what is it, 2083?
Well, what always trips me out is back in 2012, I was learning about the Anunnaki and the planet Nibiru, and they were talking about how every so many years, they or centuries or thousands of years, whatever, they come back around. That this it's part of a trajectory that this planet makes, and it's on its way back right now. And then here we are. You have this three eye atlas and everything else, all these UFO sightings, and are we dealing with the Anunnaki and the planet Nibiru?
Right. I just can't believe that they're still showing the Earth as a globe like this.
Yeah, they got
And you always have United States right there in the front.
Right. I mean, it's complete propaganda. And the whole Antarctica thing about the first guy that went there, what was that, Byrd? Admiral
Hmm.
Byrd? Yeah, and everything. It's crazy why you would hide this, you know?
Well, they say
Ah,
that Africa is like extremely big compared to these other continents, but they make it look proportioned within,
yeah.
the
mhm.
map. But yeah, it's funny.
That's why, yeah, Russia looks huge too.
I still subscribe to the donut hole Earth.
Oh, I love it. That's my favorite one.
Could
I
you
think
break
it's
that
more
down?
like a damn snow globe. Yeah, we did an episode on it.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. Huh. Well, what do you think, Jay?
About what the
You think it's aliens? What do you think's gonna happen when they get here?
three eye atlas?
Yeah.
Um, Somehow we're gonna figure out that they are real aliens,
Hmm.
and it's just gonna shift our minds to because we've always had this question: Are we alone in the universe? Are we the most intelligent life in the cosmos? If that question is answered, how does that change us, knowing that we're not alone anymore, kind of thing? And then how does it change us that we get ignored by these aliens because we're like ants to them? We're not that advanced. We're like primitive to them. So there, it could be that they're here. We see them moving through our solar system. They're making these moves. They see us. They stop by, look out the window, and then they just keep going. It could be something like that, and then it'll baffle like scientists. Like, what was that? And we gotta chase after it. We gotta study it.
Unless they are from us, right? If this is like home base and they're advanced enough that they're like, I guess, I don't know.
For all we know, they could be humans. It's just the more advanced humans that is able to. traverse the universe kind of thing.
Right, like doing discoveries or
Yeah. Um, the whole you guys watch Battlestar Galactica?
No.
no.
At the end of the original Battlestar Galactica series, the very like the last episode, the fleet, the human fleet, was traveling, and then one of the main characters went to the an old radio communications thing in the ship. He it's like his hobby to go there and monitor it, kind of thing, monitoring old radio waves because their fleet operates on a like a more advanced communication um, system. So at the very end, the main character was like trying to listen in to the radio chatter, um, and another character came in, talked to him, saying, "Hey, why you listen to this old junk stuff? It's ancient, technology kind of thing." And then they laugh it off. They go away, but they don't turn off the radio. And then a transmission came in, which was the Apollo moon landing transmission, because they had that quote unquote televised. And then that's what it was that was received at the very end of the I guess that season, the series. Like they're looking for Earth, like the whole fleet, and then they just so happened to receive that, but then they stepped out and they just missed the conversation or the signal. And then yeah, that's the end of the original Battlestar Galactica.
That's funny. That
They
is
could,
funny. So they were using old technology, and that was the only way that they picked up, kind of showing how much more advanced they were than Earth.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I guess I'll jump to this one real quick. I just found this out today. So it's by Merck. It's called Novavax, right? It's they're now making shots for your pets using mRNA particle technology. So cats and dogs, rabies vaccines. It's not giving me a whole bunch of information because it wants me to actually download the information, but let's see. NXT level RNA particle technology enhances the body's natural process to stimulate comprehensive immunity. So, what it's doing is replicating itself inside of your pets, which is then shedding to you. So, Jay and I were kind of talking about it earlier where it's in the food, right? They say that they're putting all this stuff into the food. They're putting it, I mean, into the shots, obviously, that people are taking. It's probably getting sprayed into our air. That was something Bill Gates was involved with, the mosquitoes and things like that. But now they're giving it to your pets. So people are actually having to call. So if you go to a vet, call, ask what the shots are, because they don't know anything about it. And a lot of veterinarians and those companies, I guess, if they're not small town, you know, mom and pop kind of vets, they're bought out by bigger companies, and they're now giving people's dogs, cats, whatever, these shots. And yeah, because remember the COVID, the death shot, how it was shedding on people, which I actually saw firsthand with a couple. The husband got it right. All of a sudden, his wife was having issues, ended up with blood clots, big ones. I was like, this is crazy, like, because I was hearing it at the time. And then a couple months later, like big blood clots, like almost killed her, pulling them out, huge. And then a couple months later, he had a big ass heart attack. Like they had to do a triple bypass, whatever. So they ended up both getting hit by what I believe to be was just him getting the shots. And people like let their dogs like lick them, and they're shedding their hair all over, so it's perfect. But yeah, they're trying to kill us for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's so the aliens have more room on this planet or something. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Who do you think's in charge of it?
If aliens are already walking amongst us, just put on the skin suit, we're going down for a landing kind of thing, then we would assume that whatever they're already announcing, like, hey, it's going to be in the food, it's already probably been in the food, in the water, in the air. We're just now being told about it. We can it's like that resistance is futile. We can scream and picket and riot and protest, whatever, but it's already been done. And like you
Right.
said, shedding between spouse, between coworkers, sneezing. I mean, it's good luck getting away from it and adding it to the pets now. Like you said, maybe it is just as simple as clearing some space. Um, if they're already walking amongst us, they know how the world operates, and so yeah, clearing space. It's like picking at the remnants, the last of the resource. Now they're taking away everybody's ability to buy food and buy all these things. Just more consolidation of resource.
It's that karmatic effect too, because they're not doing it super sneaky. They're telling you to your face before you do it. Just most people don't educate themselves. It's weird. Like, what is it? Astronomy or astrology? The millionaires don't believe in it, but the billionaires do. There's something with that. And I mean, yeah, they're putting it in the food, right? You have the option of eating this food. It's a little bit more expensive, or you can have this one, which a lot of times, for the record, I notice that um, the good stuff might be pennies cheaper than the bad stuff. But people are so used to getting the bad stuff that they won't even think twice about it.
It's the same with the whole thing with Kerrygold butter. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
No.
So Kerrygold, come to find out after, I think it was found out by a study or some sort of analysis, that their wrapper, it has toxic chemicals in it. Their butter is like legit, like um, grass fed, non GMO, like just
Mm.
pure butter, no additives or whatever. But the wrapper that they use has toxic chemicals. And like I've been buying this butter for a while, right? I prefer the taste of this over the other brands. And I have like two big boxes of this butter from Sam's Club because you can buy it in bulk. So when the announcement came out saying they have toxic wrappers on them, I'm like, I'm just gonna finish this butter because it's really good. I'm not gonna toss it out. You know, there's
Don't
a
waste your butter.
there's
Right.
a big recall about it, kind of thing. And but
There
it's like,
there is.
yeah,
Uh I'm trying to find the yogurt. It looks like there's another one. It's ugh.
What wasn't Chobani?
That's
yep,
it.
yep,
Yeah.
Chobani.
Chobani.
That's it. Yeah, and it's happening all over. So let me pull that up. It's a class action lawsuit. And yeah, the toxic chemicals, and this is what's affecting our youth and why they don't have testosterone, or why the females' hormones are so off with them, and they're ah, I mean, it's crazy. Here's a pill for that. Here's a shot for that. And you find out it's this. And I mean, if we all put into it, we're going to get $20 back.
If you're lucky, I've been in too many
Yeah.
class actions. I get $5 tops. Equifax, Google, freaking you name it. I've been probably involved in 8 class actions, and the one that I passed up on was the opiate class action lawsuit. They were suing the Sutler family or whatever it was that was behind the oxycodone. And my doctor was like, Nathan, you had a problem with opiates, right? I said, yeah, at one point. He's like, well, you should get in on this class action. And I procrastinated and procrastinated, and he kept bringing it up to me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really going to do it. It's just at this point, it's stupid because you'll get $5. He's like, no, you he said one of his patients, one of his clients, did the form, which is very simple, and they got 3 grand
Wow.
in the class action. And I said, what do I got
Dang.
to do to prove it? He said, you're, you know, I have records of history with
Prescription
opiate.
history.
Right. Yep. So there's obvious ways to track and trace who's been affected by this. And so I went to immediately jumped on trying to apply, and the window had closed, unfortunately. But yeah, that was a big one. The Oxy
That would have
settlement.
been sweet. 3 grand.
Yeah, can
Yeah.
you imagine just how many paycheck? I mean, how much that amounted to in the end?
You could have
For
took that 3 grand, right? Um, gave it to an attorney to file your own lawsuit
Well,
specifically for you.
the problem with the class actions is every time you agree to participate in one and get paid out, you
Oh, yeah,
waive
that's right.
all. Yep. Yep.
It's crap. It's crap because you could do that and be like, cool, 3 grand, and then 2 years later find out that you have like something really bad, you
Well,
know?
what really pissed me off is the Equifax one. They never tell you what you're going to get paid out. They make it seem like it's like this big gamble,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's always you got to sign, you got to waive all responsibility of the company moving forward. Anything that happens with it's like this is my credit information. I'm getting scam callers 5 times a day calling me. Your $40,000 loan is one step away from, and I'm like, and I agreed to join the class action lawsuit, and I got a freaking gift card for $5, and I'm like, and I they don't tell you. If they told you, this many people have already submitted, you're looking at getting this amount of money, but they don't. It's a
They do that
fucking
on
gamble.
purpose. You have to
Yep.
fill out all the information and waste, 20 minutes of your life. That way you're like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
And the best part is I get a digital fucking gift card that it's like $5. Okay. When you go to a checkout for online, you don't get an option to use partial of your gift card. It's like you got to use the whole damn thing. Where am I going to spend $5? It's not even covering shipping. And I keep getting emails saying, "Did you spend the gift card yet? Remember, you have a five." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
gift card to a company that they own.
That's right.
I was just talking about the other day how gift cards are like a big scam, and it just clicked. I'm like, because we were gonna get my daughter a gift card for her birthday. I was like, I'm just gonna give her cash because you can't spend all the monies on a gift card unless it's just perfect. I was like, so it'll be, left over there. And then, yeah, a lot of people don't use them. They forget about them, or y- you know, after a certain amount of time, it just doesn't work anymore. You can't prove, to get another one. It's stupid. It's such a scam.
I got a story about a gift card. Back when I was in my addiction, before OnlyFans existed, I had a friend who his girlfriend would do cam shows, and I was like, "Isn't this like illegal? People are paying you to watch you do things." And she's like, "No, the way you go around it is they pay you in gift cards, and so you get like $100 gift cards sent to you at the end of the show." And I'm like, "What do you do with the gift card?" She's like, "Well, they have these websites you can go, or these programs where you can cash the gift cards in, and then you get cash." And that's how they usurped it before OnlyFans and all this stuff blew up. I was like, "Fucking gift cards."
Did she take EBT? Yeah,
50 cents on the dollar.
yeah. Oh, that's wild. Gonna eat tonight. That's awesome. All right, you guys got anything else? I'm just drawing a blank. There's so much stuff, but stuff I don't want to hit either.
Well, I got something real quick.
Perfect.
So, one of the main things that people talk about when investing is diversification. And because markets play off of each other. And so if you're in the stock market or cryptos or precious metals or whatever, commodities, um, you want to be diversified. And one thing I've been doing recently is trying to buy more precious metals, because precious metals have always been, for thousands of years, a form of currency amongst other things. And if you didn't already know, silver and gold have reached record highs and have kind of stopped there at their record high right now. And it seems like the way the charts are looking is that it's building the new bottom, the new base, because it usually takes from the moment a new high is reached, it takes between, I think they said 3 and 6 weeks to like establish that as the next bottom. So gold went up over 4 grand per ounce. Silver is up over 50. Right now it's right around like 48, 49. But it's building that bottom. And if you think about it, precious metals are a hedge against inflation. Every year, your dollar, actually, probably quicker than that, your dollar is buying less and less. And if you think about it, if you had a savings back in whatever, 10 years ago, and you accepted that savings in silver versus US dollars, what would be more valuable today? Silver by a freaking long shot. Every time you go to the grocery store, you see how much your dollar has depreciated. And so, if you can afford it, I would say start getting diversified into physical assets. Crypto is great. Stock market is, it has high yields, but it's all based on this government and economy. And the one thing that will stand through all this, even if we have like power issues, that'll affect crypto. Internet goes down, but physical hard assets will get you through these hard times. And right now, everybody's measuring things based off of dollar value. Well, wait till dollars don't buy you shit, and all of a sudden you're now looking at what is tangible. What do I have in my possession right now? Because keep your money in the bank. The banks go down. We have economic problems. So silver is an easy entry level kind of asset. And the thing is, there's more gains to be made in silver. The amount of movement that silver can be making right now, it's for the average Joe. It's easier to get in at a $50 buy-in than a $4,000 ounce of gold. So just something to consider is, if you want to take a hedge out against inflation, diversify and get some silver.
Or 4,000 ounce of silver,
There you go, 4,000 ounce of silver.
right? It's
4,000.
easier to get in. Yeah, it's easier to get in at 50 than, yeah, if it ends up being something crazy like 4,000.
Yeah, and they're saying, now that we've broken through that resistance marker of $50, it's only reached up towards 50 twice in history. That
Hmm.
was in the 80s with the Hunt brothers, and then I think it was 2011 with JP Morgan. They pumped the price up and then crashed it back down. And now that we've made it past the $50 mark, they're saying that the sky's the limit, that this has been
Mm-hmm.
an artificially held down price for, because a lot of the financial system is based off of silver and gold trading. And anyways, the whole rabbit hole. But just get a little bit. You never know. Look at where gold was back in like 2012. It was like right around $1,000 or maybe 1,500 tops, and look at where it's at now. And people are talking about $27,000 gold and multi-hundred to $1,000 silver in our near future. So I don't think it's a big risk.
It's pretty wild because the market, like for housing and like Jay said, vehicles and everything is slowly starting to correct. The Fed has dropped a whole 0.5% in what, the past month, 2 months. I mean, it's not good enough, but it's getting there. So as this is
Yeah.
happening, silver and gold is still holding this new price, which is really cool.
Well, it's also pretty, I mean, it's a little unsettling is with the BRICS nations, the forming of the BRICS nations, India and China are trying to become superpowers of solar energy. And that is highly reliant on silver. And so now they're locking down their countries so that precious metals no longer leave the country. They're limiting the ability of people to sell within their own countries, and they're accumulating shit tons of silver and gold right now. And another thing is, gold and silver used to be held for all the countries in America, and a lot of these superpowers now are taking their gold and silver out of the vaults from America, and they're bringing it back to home base. And they're accumulating behind the scenes. This is all coming out, and because of that, Trump is saying we're going to make silver and gold assets that we want on our nation's books now. Like they want, like big banks are coming out and saying you should diversify into, I think it was like Goldman Sachs
Mm.
and Chase or something, but they're all saying you need to diversify into silver and gold. Whereas before they're like, no, just do the stocks and keep money in the bank, gain interest. Now they're all coming out and saying it. And it's just like the vaccines and the food. If they're now finally admitting it, that they're 10 steps ahead of the game.
I heard this, kind of to add on to that. I saw someone talking about how Trump secretly went and got our gold back, like
I heard there was an
overseas,
audit.
and
Oh,
flew it, like from
Yes.
overseas.
So yes and
You know what
no.
I'm talking about, Jay?
Yeah. So Fort Knox, semi-empty, went to I think Europe and got dispersed somehow.
It's the Vatican,
Um,
right?
yeah, but I guess Trump, what he did was call in all the gold that was owed to the U.S. back, and majority of that came from London. Um,
And then he's paying people
and
back everyone he owes.
yeah, and slowly, whatever we had in Fort Knox is slowly coming back, but I don't think it was the original gold bars that was there. It's just, it's just to replace what we had. But yeah, it's coming back. And to add to Nathan's thing with the silver, if you can't get silver 1 ounce coins, get dirty silver, which is your silvers with in nickels, dimes, quarters. The old, you know the years, Nathan?
Spoons.
1964. Yep, junk silver, whether it's sterling or it's pre 1964 coinage. Quarters are 90% if they're 1964 or older. Dimes 90%. Nickels, I want to say it's 1945 or 35. You got to double check the dates on that,
Yeah.
but
I've
they have a
looked for
lower.
years, dude, and I've never found one of those quarters that you'll just happen to pick up off the sidewalk
I'll
on one
tell
of
you
your
what.
walks.
I used to work at McDonald's when I was younger, and my manager, I told him something looks weird about this dime when I pulled it through the drive-through, and he's like, "Oh, it's a silver dime." I'm like, "What? Silver?" He's like, "Yeah, 1964 or older is silver." And I was like, "No, no kidding. How much is it worth?" Back then, I think it was like $2 for a dime, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" So I started collecting them all, and at the end of the day, I would just pay back the till, whatever I had in my silver coins. By the end of, I don't remember how long I did this for, but I had a sandwich bag like this full of silver dimes and quarters. And
Wow.
Nice.
my son kept getting into it, my older son. So I poured it into my change jug. And when you're in your 20s, you're irresponsible and doing dumb shit. So I didn't pay my electricity bill and I needed to go pay it. So I took my change to the bank, not thinking, oh my God, I got a sandwich bag of silver. I dumped it all on, gave it to the bank and got my $70 in change. So I got face value and that's just another perfect example. If you look at like inflation, like the buying power of currency, fiat currency versus silver, 25 cents. I think JR, you showed us a picture of a restaurant in Texas that was willing to accept two 1964 quarters for a large
Yeah.
hamburger, fry, and drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fucking crazy. But if you spend that as fiat, it's worth 25 cents. But if you take the silver value, it's like freaking 15, $20. It's
So if they
crazy.
if they go back to the dollar being backed by precious metals or like a new way of that, right? If you were to walk in there with one of those old quarters, that the bank would actually give you more money than a quarter. That's how it should work, right?
Yep.
If they return to the gold, yeah, if they return to that precious metal back currency, right.
It's amazing
Yeah.
thinking of
And
that.
another thing is in these circumstances where we're, in uncertain times, there's also going to be issues with fraud and fake silver and fake gold. So one thing that people recommend is actually buying junk silver, the 1964 coinage or whatever, because it's actually minted by the U.S. Mint because it's a quarter and a dime, and it's harder to fake stuff like that. It's not worth it, and also it's fractional silver. Whereas if we run into a situation where dollars aren't worth shit, an ounce of silver could be enough to buy a year's supply of groceries. And at that point,
Yeah,
how are you going to break that down? So
yeah.
you want fractional size silver. So the interesting thing is with this run up, all of the refineries are saying, no more. We will not accept junk silver. We're done. We're so backed up with orders refining the metal back down to purity that they won't accept it. So now a lot of the coin shops are saying, no, we can't buy it. But there are a few that are saying that's silly. Why would you not accept it? Because this is all temporary. Eventually, these refineries are going to catch up, and this kind of silver you can get the 1964 coinage under spot price. Spot price is what you see on the screen right now. Whereas if you buy it from like a dealer or a website, there's a premium added, which is their commission that they add to each order. To each ounce of silver, there's like a couple dollars added. And so, yeah, junk silver you can actually get below the spot price, which is what the banks trade at. So, yeah, you want that fractional size for emergency situations. It's it's real because it's minted by the US Mint. You can actually tell with silver coins because they don't have that copper ring around them. And when you
Hmm.
drop it, it's a very distinguished ping sound compared to when you drop regular change. So keep an eye
People
out.
don't people don't fake it because that's a very big federal crime.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right.
So that's awesome. I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple months, whether it's good or bad. I know the three of us got our own together, and we'll be just fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, besides silver and storable food and a plan on staying there or getting out. I mean, I think we're ready. We're ready for any of it. As long as we got ammo or, you know, a little community of our own, whether
I'm
it's just our family here or, surrounding people surrounding us.
The more I talk to people about even just silver, the more I realize how far ahead of the curve the three of us are, and
Hmm.
maybe some of our listeners, because I just mention silver to people and they're like, "What? What are you talking about silver? No, I don't follow silver." Or what are you talking about? The government shutdown could last longer. Of course they're going to figure this out. What do you mean don't get the shots? What do you mean cryptocurrency? It's like, holy shit! Have you had your head buried in the sand?
Well, they never had to grow up. I mean, everything you just said sounds like a child. Oh, they'll take care of me. They're going to take care of me. Nobody's going to take care of you but you. That's how it is, how it's always been. Yeah, it's unfortunate how many people are going to find that out one of these days.
Yeah.
Because then they kept it going during COVID, right? Here's a paycheck, stay home. Be a
Here's a
good,
stimulus check.
yeah, good little pet slave.
This is America. This would never happen in America.
Wear the mask, take the shot, let grandma die alone.
So this whole thing with the shutdown and like the flights being reduced and possible people not buying anything during Thanksgiving or Black Friday, doesn't this feel like another lockdown situation, like leading up to one?
Yeah, it feels eerily similar, like deja vu.
The YouTube channel Adapt 2030, they continue to talk about this is stage 2 of the Great Reset, and it's all the trial of leading up to when it finally all kicks off. They had the lockdown for the pandemic slash climate change, whatever they're planning on doing with locking people down. Now it's, hey, how will society react if we just take a fraction of their resources away from them? It's all strategic planning and war gaming. So wonder what stage 3 is. The alien invasion, Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, blue beam is quite a possibility. Yeah, weird stuff happening in the sky. That's kind of what I felt was going on with Three Eye Atlas. Is they got it all set up and staged, right? And they always have, what do you say? Never let what is it? Go
Good
to waste.
crisis.
A
Good
good
crisis.
crisis. So it's like they got all these different crises lined up, and they're just like, which one are we gonna do? And that's why they weren't talking about Three Eye Atlas. It's there, and you could months, right? Months and months of tracking it. You could look up. So it's like, what is this thing? Oh, here's 6 months of conversations that weren't being put on the TV, but you can follow. Oh, this thing is real. It's this. These are all the details about it. But it's like that. It's like it's almost here. It's going to be here October, end of October. Now we're seeing December. I mean, when it's something like that, you can change. You can drag the goalpost, the time of it for everything. So.
Well, remember when they shut down the solar observatory back in, I don't remember what year that was, but
Hmm.
they had Black Hawk helicopters surround the place. Everybody was escorted out of the building. What were they able to see?
Right. Right. Or not see. Something happened. Yeah, it's really weird. Well, any last words, guys? I'm gonna hop off of this and get out of here. Let's
Um, Buy your appliances now before stuff made from China no longer comes to us.
stay away from Samsung and LG. I don't care. That's it. Or you'll be shopping for another one in 3 months. And that's only for like regular appliances. The TVs and phones are all right.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about like air fryers,
Yeah.
rice cookers.
washers, dryers, refrigerators, microwaves,
Yeah, crock
ranges,
pots,
ovens,
pressure
all this
cookers.
stuff. Pressure cookers. I still have yet to use an air fryer, Jay, one of these days.
They're so convenient.
Mm-hmm. All
If
right.
I could offer any last words, I would say start learning how to take care of yourself. Start learning how things work. Maybe take apart a few things rather than throw them out. Just start kind of tooling around with things and figure out how to become less reliant on others. Because as we're seeing, that dependence is really our downfall.
That's right. You animals get handy in a good way.
Yep.
Handsy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, if there's large mass scale riots and stuff, people are gonna lose their name, like a credit score. They're not gonna be hired. They're all gonna have this blanketed check mark next to their name. These are, domestic terrorists, quite possibly labeled as, and that's a lot of jobs opening up with the illegals leaving, and you know all the Starbucks workers getting fired. All right, guys, it's been a good one. We'll catch you on the next one.